Hey everybody, I haven't made a video in a few days, and I really apologize. I've just been pretty busy washing windows yesterday, and then last week, um, I finished positive 16 points last week, but it was really rough. I had a couple days where I had kind of stupid losses, and then I had some good wins. I had one day where I got, I think, 20 points, but the problem that I'm facing right now, sorry I have to be quiet, it's like 5:45 in the morning, so my family's still asleep. My biggest problem right now and where I'm at trading is my lack of confidence. Not in getting into a proper trade, but where the trade is going to go. So I've had multiple trades where I can say at least three from last week that I set measured moves and I would get out before that measured move, but it actually would hit it. So it's a little bit frustrating because you're leaving money on the table and you're not properly identifying when it looks like. Okay, sorry. You have to think of it like this. You have to always be thinking of the market from a bear perspective and a bull perspective. So if I'm going long, I'm only getting out when it looks like it's a good opportunity to go short. Instead of just seeing, maybe one bad bar, unless it's like a major rejection bar or something, you really need to stick in it until there's justification why you should get out. So that's something I'm dealing with. So here's the trade that I had the other day. This was on, I don't know what day, I think Tuesday. Wednesday. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. Oh, February 8th. So that was Wednesday, yeah. So here's the trade Wednesday, and let me give you the context first. So at the open, we were in this range right here. We had a breakout, and I tried to go long right here. I don't know if you can see that. So we had a breakout of the range, and then this immediate inside strong bull bar. So I put a buy above that, but as you can see, it did not trigger because I was expecting the breakout to fail. The context was good for the bears for this day, if I remember. So that's why I was kind of waiting. If this would have been more, like if you got rid of this bar and we had this bar, I would have gone short right here. Even though that's kind of not my trading style, that's a higher probability trade. But look at the risk. You'd have to put your stop all the way up here. So one thing that I've really been doing, and I encourage people to do, is switch over to line charts every once in a while. When I say every once in a while, like maybe once an hour. Just switch to a line chart for a second and then switch back. Because it helps you identify these wedges a lot easier. And I thought I did it in this video, but I don't think I did. Okay, so here's the context. So we have three pushes that if you look on a line chart, you will see like three obvious pushes, because that was another issue I was having. I would be like, okay, here's 1, 2, 3. Like you can make a wedge just about it out of everything. We have a parabolic wedge here, or a failed breakout of this wedge. So switch to a line chart to give you yourself like a bigger view of, a possible wedge. So I played it like this. So we had a wedge here, 1, pull back 2, and then a pullback somewhere in here, 3. So we have 3 distinct pushes down, 1, 2, 3. So when that happens, that's a good idea. Okay, we may possibly be going the other way. The other thing that made this interesting was there's not a lot of bear bars, but look at all these, or I'm sorry, bull bars, but look at all these dojis. And then on top of that, we had this massive bull bar here. So this is not a strong looking bear trend as of now. I think it does like later in the day, but this is not strong. This is, I don't know what this is. So anyway, we broke outside of the wedge, boom boom boom, but the bars are getting smaller, followed by this huge bull bar. So there's H1 right there, and I almost went long on that one. Boom, now we came back down. Guess what? Now another bull bar. So now we're looking at H2. So 1, pull back 2. This is a horrible, horrible entry bar. But I don't really care. I just YOLO'd it, and you know, the fact that we were H2, ideally I should have put it above this one. This is a lot stronger bar. But I just kind of like, whatever. It was getting around that time, and this is why I stopped trading at a certain time, because I get a little bit reckless or bored. So I like to be done, or at least in my trade, before 10:30, if possible. And here we are, 11 o'clock, and I like just got in this trade. I'm getting ready for the gym. That's the issue. So thankfully, this bar closes bullish, but the risk was so minimal. I mean, it was what, 7.25 points. It's not that bad, but look at the potential risk. So I thought it was worth it. So I set it to 2-1, and here's where I just make myself mad. Set it to 2-1. I could have just set it and forget it. And that's the other thing I've been working on, is not freaking moving my stop. Don't move your stop. Your stop is there just as a safety net. It's not to like capture your profits. You know, if a move goes up 10 plus points, yeah, I'll move to break even. And we have like a higher low or something like that. I'll move, you know, below that higher low or break even, because I'm not going to give up all 10 and then some. But that's been my main thing, is don't move my stop, because if you're wrong in a trade, you need to feel the pain. You're not going to pay attention to a trade or learn from a trade that you escaped. You know, if you got nervous and you go out break even, you're going to forget all about that trade. But if you're in a trade and you lose, you're going to wonder why I lost. So don't move your stop. Take the pain if you got wrong and just move on. Because even though losing sucks, moving your stop and getting out break even on a good trade sucks even more, when you should have stayed in. So here we go. So now you can see we have a breakout, and I was a little bit nervous because we've been gap below the EMA for quite some time, and that's why I also moved to 10 points instead of my 2-1. I was getting ready for the gym, and I was just kind of ready to go. So we get this strong bull breakout, good bar, and then we have this horrible bear bar. So at this point I'm like, I don't know about this, because I thought it was just going to sell at the EMA, but look, it didn't even get above this bar. So I'm like, oh crap, maybe it was kind of like exhaustion, which I would be looking to go long again if it went sideways over here, because what's happening is the market's trying to come back down here. So a lot of times when you have a channel break, even though we already broke technically this channel here, this wedge, the market will come back to a lower low or a higher high before it reverses. So it's like you have a downtrend, break, pull back to the EMA maybe, and push to a new low, because they know there's stops down here. But also they want to clear out if people went, you know, let's say they went short below this bear bar, these people got to get out. So that provides people an opportunity to get out before it reverses. And plus it finds more buyers. So thankfully, I believe we get another bull bar here. This was the only bar that I was like really, really worried about. So now we technically have a lower high, and it's a bear bar closing on its low. So I was like, I almost got out below that bar, because now we have rejection, we have a micro double top, we have a lower high at the EMA after a bear trend, but I didn't, because these bull bars are way too strong. Look at that, strong, 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 and we're technically at that's an H2, I believe. One pullback. No, this would really, I guess that would be H3. But we have this selling, or this buying pressure is coming up. So the market tried to go up, got pushed back down. So then again, we have this other strong bull bar. Well, now we're in a range. So we're in this little micro range. So now the market's trying to decide. That's also why I moved to 10 points. I mean, I'm just trying to justify my bad mistake here. But we were sitting around 9, and I was literally getting ready to walk out the door, and it kind of started bouncing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move it to 10. And then this happened, and I think I had, yeah. So after this breakout and a good close, I knew we probably would get at least right here. And I'm already left, so I wrote gym here to show that I'm at the gym. I don't like leaving a trade without my stop being at least break even. Like if I have to, after I just said don't move your stop. But if I'm not at home, I definitely move my stop just in case something freakish happens. So I get out there with, I think it was like right at 10 points. But notice here, this is what really pisses me off. So we come back down. Good minimum follow through for the bulls after this breakout. And then look at this. Look at that was my original target. So that's a little frustrating because I just left money on the table. So instead of 10 points, I would have got, 14 and a half. But I'd rather take a for sure, dime. Wait. A for sure nickel over a maybe dime. So, I had a for sure 10 points there compared to a maybe 14. That's not too much of a difference. But, if I'm sitting at, okay, maybe I could get 20 points. And then one thing, oh, I didn't record it long enough. One thing I have noticed is that whenever you have these targets right here, these are magnets, just like the EMA is a magnet. This is the open of the day. The market wants to test this. It doesn't mean it's going to get there, but if you have strength or desire, the market's showing desire to get there, it's reasonable to set that target there. However, now look at this. Now we have 1, pull back 2, pull back 3. So now you're sitting at a wedge. So that's just something to keep in mind. So I know I'm kind of mumbling a little bit. It's hard to really think aloud. Everybody's still asleep. But I hope these videos are helping someone. And please like or comment, because I don't know if really people watch these, because you can get views regardless. But I want interaction with other traders. So just let me know.